especially reviewing Mac and Me.
So we're officially Tyson. You just saw this movie for the first time.
That's right.
Yeah, what prompted you to watch Mac and Me?
I don't know. I was watching.
This up. Like,
okay, so I was watching something on YouTube, and it just showed a clip of it, and I've seen clips of it dozens of times on different things throughout the years. Mm-hmm. You know, it's always the clip of the wheelchair, the kid going down. They play that on like late night shows when they bring on a special guest like Paul Rudd, and they're like, "Hey, let's cut to your clip of your early career." And it's just as a joke they play that. But then I realized for some reason I was like, "Why have I never watched this? Like I've watched all kinds of bad movies, and we love bad movies." So I finally went out and just was like looked for it, and then I burned a DVD of it because we've never talked about it. And I thought that you had never seen it because we've talked about every movie at this point, but.
Yeah.
And then I was shocked to find out that you have already seen Mac and Me.
Right.
And I burned the DVD.
Yeah.
We ended up watching it together and getting to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then
we watched it again last night.
We found out that Josh here is the foremost Mac and Me expert.
Yeah. He is. This is a childhood favorite.
I had two younger twin sisters, and we watched a lot of movies just because we were that age. So this was one that we rented multiple times, at least like once a month, just to mock it.
So you knew it was bad even as a kid?
Oh, yeah, as a kid.
Wait, we need to set this movie up for people that don't know what it's about.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Okay, well.
What's Mac and Me about?
Why don't you just start with the back of the box?
It's intergalactic fun for the whole family. Greetings.
Oh, wait a minute. My mother hated it. She couldn't stand it. You know, parents hated that movie. Yeah.
But it's not intergalactic fun for the whole family. Your mom would not say that it was intergalactic fun for her.
I think anybody's mother or father would have not been on board with it.
And you know what I think is really ridiculous though is like, okay, in the back of the box, look, he has a little smile. Oh. His mouth doesn't look like that ever in the movie.
That's
ever.
Fake.
He never smiles. His little mouth is like it's a little butthole mouth the whole time. He's just like
it's just for straws.
Like it's just for straws and Coke and drinking Coke. The thing for me about this movie that is the hardest to get over is just how fucking ugly these aliens are. They are so fucking ugly and hideous, and like they have like the way they walk upsets me. Oh. The way the family looks is upset. Like the grown ones are even worse than the little puppet Mac. And then they're flesh colored. Why are they flesh colored? Why are they flesh colored? And they're naked and they have these distended bellies. Like they look like one of those.
Problem.
And then they have little butthole mouths where they can only, and their cheeks are all poofed out and they're all like that all the time, and they just are, and they walk like, and they do their heads all stupid when they walk, and I just hate everything about them design wise. It's so aesthetically unappealing.
Well, you know what's weird about it, and the thing that's kind of what's weird about E.T. is like they look like they evolved in like the wrong direction. It's like on what planet like would they have evolved this way?
Right.
Like where
and
why?
With straws.
Well then give it to him. You're hurting me. My God. Well do something. What? I'm driving you.
And it is established that they're more advanced because they have superpowers. Right. Blow open a door, turn on an electrical device, they turn on a TV.
They're stretchy too. They can be sucked into things.
They're strong because when he falls in the water, that little thing brings him and the wheelchair up, not using sort of the strength of the water. He raises that wheelchair above the water line. So, I mean, he's holding it above the water.
Yeah.
And their molecular structure seems to be, something stretchy or plastic. Or
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because in the beginning when they blew the special effects budget in the first 5 minutes of the movie, that's when he's getting knocked around and sucked in the thing,
in the vacuum.
And then he gets that part where he's on the windshield of the car.
Oh, he's
splatted out for some reason,
like a cartoon.
And it's like, okay,
yeah.
And they only did that for a second, and then they never did stuff like that again.
That was it.
Yeah. That was it.
They're like, okay, we're broke.
The thing that I kept thinking about, like you're saying, like how did it get funded, is like back in the 80s there was this whole VHS market, which was a thing where people would go to the rental stores and you would look for a movie, and then there'd be all these other movies that were like basically just rip-off movies that other companies were making. Sure. But back then, I think it was a bigger thing of just confused dads, because E.T. might not be in stock.
Right.
And they would get something that looked like it to go home and bring the kids.
Well, and now it's streaming, they just search for whatever they want. So, I mean, it's like, I guess back then they probably, like you said, they had a better chance of
making that accident happen.
Yeah. And also just like if the movie is gone and you don't want to come home empty-handed and you're like, this is good enough, whatever. Yeah. You know, like.
Or the kids would be, Dad, this isn't what we wanted. And like,
just watch it.
Looks like a biggie.
Well, Mom, get in their lane. Follow them down.
Will you guys just stop it? Oh. Can we get there and watch? No way.
So after he gets the alien, when do you first? Because you all just watched it last night. I haven't seen it in a couple years.
Yeah.
But when did they? Days.
We both don't believe you, Josh. You own the DVD and you know when the Blu-ray's coming out. Come on. Well, yeah. Don't lie.
When do you meet the kid in the wheelchair? Do they hit him in the car?
No, somebody else hits him in the car.
But they come upon the wreck.
But they come upon the wreck, and they're driving to their new home.
I tell you, I'm not crazy. It looked like an omelet with 2 eyes. It must have been some sort of alien.
They hear the people who are like, there was some creature, you know, and then like the older brother makes some joke about maybe it was an ADUI.
Was it drunk?
It's probably an ADUI.
What?
An alien driving under the influence.
They make these weird acronym jokes during like 3 times in the movie that like don't make any sense.
Yeah,
to
you
me.
know that's something that family does. They just make acronyms.
They make up acronyms.
Here's your toe. What? Tuna on whole wheat. Oh, thanks. Hey, come look at this.
The mom comes in and she's like, here's your toe, and gives him a sandwich, and he's like, toe? And she's like, tuna on whole wheat. And it was like, that's not an acronym. Like, who would ever guess like tuna on whole wheat, like toe? Here's your toe. Like, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, what? Like, what, bitch? What did you say?
That one was almost adorable.
No. It was a weird attempt at humor.
It
was an attempt at humor that was not funny. It was not funny. So
that's how they come across. It's a placeholder for a joke that you would normally have in a normal movie, because this whole movie is basically ripping off other movies, especially E.T.
Yeah.
And they're just going along the lines.
Right. God, I just can't get over who approved these fucking aliens, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you wonder, it's like even if they were green or something, but like, I think that they kind of just, they would have been better if they were a color.
Anything would have been better. Any decision. Like, we're all artists here. This is the worst possible design.
Right. All of us have designed characters. All of us have drawn aliens. All 3 of us at this table have...
I couldn't draw something that bad if I tried.
No. I would never design something this hideous. And I know E.T. was ugly, but like these are just like...
No, I don't think that not having money thing is a good excuse for this movie, because this movie has money. Like, it's got the shots, it's got actors, it's got a story, it's got product tie-ins.
Yeah, dude, okay,
take some of that McDonald's money and make an alien.
Look, but the music was by Alan Silvestri, and that's something that really shocked me.
Right, we saw that in the credits last night.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a real fucking composer. Like, they paid a real guy. And
jumping in the city.
Okay, pick up the pace. That's very good, Kathy.
That was fucked up. Besides, okay, so there's the obvious, like, they do a whole scene in McDonald's where there's a McDonald's birthday party and Ronald's there and there's all these dancers and everyone's dancing.
Yeah, by the way, Josh, I was really surprised by that. I heard about it, and then when I actually saw it, it blew me away.
He was like, what? And I was like, no, like, this is it, dude.
What's so ridiculous about it? It's like, have you ever eaten at McDonald's? Dude, can you get up and dance after eating at McDonald's?
Then there's football players there, and there's ballerinas there, and there's professional dancers, and Ronald is there, and there's a birthday party, and Max dressed up like a teddy bear.
I will say, though, that birthday parties at McDonald's when you were that age in the 80s and 90s.
Is that something that happened?
Fun.
Yeah.
I never experienced that.
I did too. I asked him about it. I was like, Tyson, you never went to a fucking birthday party at McDonald's? He was like, no. And I'm like, really?
You could have your birthday party. No.
People did that?
There were no
Was Ronald McDonald there at the birthday parties?
No. Ronald was not there.
No.
He was only there for the movie.
He'd be there.
So the thing that was fake is people dancing and Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. I mean, Ronald would be there, but I mean, not for every kid's birthday. I mean, if you happened to be there when you had a birthday, you'd be there. But I mean, movies made.
Certainly not still doing this. This must have stopped in the
no.
90s.
I mean,
Anywhere you
yeah,
want,
maybe
but
people do it still. I don't know. I did some at Burger King too, even.
Burger King.
Yeah.
They would like close off a certain part of the rows of booths and let all the kids sit there.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. But I mean, it wasn't like anybody danced and there was no football players.
I was looking for the director. You said that in the back of that scene somewhere, the director has like money in his hands. He's just dancing
somewhere
in the
background, like waving money around.
I was looking for him, but I was really tired, so like I missed him. But I was
Apparently
totally
he's there
looking
somewhere.
For him.
Like the director of that movie is in the background with wads of cash going like this during the dance.
Because even more, like the thing that was like, yes, there's a crazy, like intense McDonald's tie-in in this.
Sure.
But the Coke tie-in was like even more insidious.
We heard it bad, didn't we? Hey, he looks...
Okay, so they give him some Coke. You know, they give this little guy Coke.
Yeah.
And he's sipping on his little straw.
When's the first time he has Coke?
I think they take him out of the vacuum or something.
Okay, and that's when he needs it. Okay.
And that's when he needs it, and he drinks the Coke, and he's just he's sucking it down.
This must be like what they drink on their own planet.
Oh, this is what he drink on his planet, you know? Like, this is what he probably drinks on his planet.
Now that I think is pretty evil.
That's that's blatantly
pretty evil.
fucked up, like making kids.
Coke is the theme of the movie. It's that you can re-energize with Coke, because the aliens are even brought back to life by the Coke.
Yeah.
Several times.
But the implication that Coke is like a naturally occurring like substance, like water or something, is
right,
like, well, maybe he has this on his planet. Because don't they drink out of the ground on their planet?
Yeah, they drink out of a
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
When I watched it, the opening scene again, I noticed he comes up and knocks on a rock.
Yeah, so if you're a kid,
puts a straw in it.
if you have a kid's mind, you're putting two and two together,
right.
You're gonna think they're drinking Coke out of those
there's
rocks.
Coke on other planets,
You know what I mean?
and that they drink
and I
it.
think that's what we assumed when we were kids watching it.
Oh,
They must
totally.
be drinking Coke out of
So
the
you guys
rocks.
are like me, like you just drank soda like it was water when you were in the 80s.
Never drink water. I just drink soda all the time. But we're from Alabama, so like it was just like
That may be an Alabama
trash
thing.
all the time. But then they find the family, Mac's family, because he's been separated from his family, and they find him, and they look like they're all dead in a cave, and then they give him Cokes, and they come back to life.
I mean, that sounds absurd, but they literally do that.
Give me a straw. That's it.
They go inside a supermarket, and then they're like trying to get Cokes and stuff, and like they're just constantly like getting Coke. There's just a lot of Coke in this, and like the label's always out, like it's always, and Skittles. There is a Skittles.
Were Skittles. Okay.
Skittles were shown several times. And again, it's like the bag was just shown directly at the camera, like Skittles.
Here, see if he likes this.
You know?
Yeah, and you'd think with all this product placement, they could afford a better alien.
Maybe that's where all the money was coming from. Maybe there was no other funding.
I wonder. Like, I'd really like to hear the story.
This
of
is
how
an unusual
Mac and Me got
movie
made.
in the way they
It
use product
seems
placement.
like kind of like maybe the movie was completely funded by those things.
Wow, top of the hill.
Oh, cool. Check it out. Two-car garage.
Yes, the chauffeur's day off.
Can we afford this?
No, we can't, Eric. That's why I'm
All right,
forced
what
to
scene
tell
were we
your
on in
brother.
Mac and Me?
They encountered him in the wreck, or there was a
Yes.
wreck on the road, and now they're in their new home.
Oh, and he gets into their
the movie.
van.
The mom's got a new job, right?
Oh no, that's actually where he has Coke for the first time. He steals a Coke from the boy. The boy's drinking
That's
a
right.
Coke.
He gets in the van because he goes through the tailpipe of the
No,
car.
he just gets in through the window when nobody's looking, I think.
Okay.
And
I
then
thought
he
he got
just, like,
sucked into the tailpipe of a car.
No, that didn't happen.
No, that was
he
that-
jumped through the window, yeah.
Yeah, he jumped through the
That's in
window.
my Mac and Me fanfic that I wrote. That's what that's
You're
from.
confusing.
Yeah, no, you should
Sorry.
do a Mac and Me comic, like a whole
Actually, that would sell.
extended universe
sell.
Mac and Me.
Not doing it.
He goes home with them, and then he starts kind of like living in their backyard, and then for some reason they first move in, and that night for some reason he comes in, and then he turns their living room to make it look like the outside, like there's just like it makes it look like the backyard.
Okay, yeah.
And
it's
he like cuts a hole, like a triangle in the front door with the saw, and
and
he's
the
like,
mom freaks out.
yeah, and she thinks
she
the
blames
kids
the
did it.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and like 2 holes have been drilled in the walls and the drywall, and like it's a total mess.
And what bothers me about that scene is that it's never established what was he trying to do.
Like, what was he doing?
He's always has a purpose with everything else he does.
Right.
Like he was setting up outside, inside.
He's trying to make the mom go crazy.
I don't know. He pissed her off, that's for sure.
But the thing is, it's like it was something that was like so not possible that the kids could have done, but the mom still like took it out on the menu.
I don't believe it. Look at this. Oh my God. I'm going back to bed.
What bothered me more was when the mom went back and she said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. What is this? I gotta go back to bed." Nobody would go back to bed after that.
I go back to bed. And it's like, no, you would fucking be so pissed. There's no way you'd go back to bed. You would like be whipping asses or something. But then he goes out in the backyard and then falls down the hill.
The kid does?
Yeah.
What happened? The brake breaks.
The handbrake breaks.
And that's the famous scene everyone's seen.
Yeah, and then he falls off the cliff.
Into the canyon.
And the mom's dialogue there is really weird. Like, he's gone off the cliff. He's in the water. The mom comes up to the cliff, and she sees he's fallen over, and she's like, I can't believe he did this.
Yes,
you know,
it doesn't make any sense.
Like, she's irritated that he fell, like, her kid fell off the side of a mountain, and she's, like, not even...
Well, even when...
She's not concerned. She's just like, I can't believe he did this.
I know.
And she's not a bad actress. You wonder if, like, they didn't tell her what she was supposed to be looking at.
She probably had no idea what was going on in the scene. It's probably not her fault. Because she's the only real actress in the movie.
Yeah.
She's an accomplished actress, too.
I know. She looks really pretty.
She's done a lot of good work. Yeah, she's very pretty.
And, like, she's really gorgeous.
You already think you got schizophrenia. Schizo what? Freakia. It's when you see people that really aren't there. Well, I'm gonna prove it to everyone. I'm gonna catch him.
The little boy is now determined to catch Mac so he can show everybody that there is, in fact, a creature. Okay. And so he teams up with the little girl next door, her new neighbor. Or his new neighbor.
Punky Brewster.
Right? Yeah, she's pretty decent,
she's good.
Right?
She's good.
She's pretty good in the role, right?
Yeah.
She's not,
no, she killed it. She was really good. She was actually, like, surprisingly good. Right. And they catch him in the vacuum, and then he pops out of the vacuum, and then so now the older brother sees it, the little girl sees it, he sees it, but the mom still hasn't seen it. And then for some reason there's these alien guys who figure out that Mac is somewhere in that area because he causes an electrical short. Yeah, the government's after him. So he causes some brownout or something, and so like they're on to like kind of where they think he is.
Now why do they keep it from the mom?
You sucked this living thing into a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah! And then we blew him out again.
It's the truth, Mom.
Like, what's interesting about that to me is, like, when we were growing up, like, all these movies, it's basically the message is, like, you can't trust adults.
No.
Like, it's
yeah,
like
they're not going to believe you.
They're not going to believe you. They're not going to help you.
They're not going to help you.
You have to, like, solve your problems on your own.
Yes.
You have to kind of go around them.
Yes.
So, like, all 80s stuff is like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And really, what's weird about it is even by the end of the movies, the parents, it's not like they come to some understanding. It's like usually like the parents are proven wrong at the end of most 80s movies.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, you're fucking stupid. This was actually going on. You were just ignoring me.
They're still doing that. You probably haven't seen the movie Aliens in the Attic.
No.
It's the same
Aliens
formula.
in the Attic.
No one has seen it. But it's that's a tried and true formula that they go back to still occasionally.
I think that they do it less now though.
Well, here's the thing, as a kid, it did make you feel like adults are not going to understand.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really felt that. I feel like growing up, and I did do things
that might be why they
it's-
did it. Because, I mean, I think that might be a natural thing. You know, like maybe adults, maybe I shouldn't listen. You know, Santa Claus wasn't real. Maybe I really shouldn't listen to these people. Just because they're bigger, maybe I shouldn't.
They don't necessarily know better, you know, and they're so, the thing about adults is they're locked into their way of thinking. And they're so locked into that thinking that anything that goes outside of that thinking is like not something that they're going to be able to understand, or that they're going to be able to, they won't even entertain it. Which I was like, yeah, that seems like a thing.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, they're fleeing fleeing from McDonald's. They go to the mall. They do a chase through the mall. They get away. The mom gets picked up by the government people. She's hanging out with them. And then the kids go with Mac, and Mac drives them into the desert, and he's trying to he's homing in psychically on his family.
Now that scene I remember is nice when it does the van's like going down and they're like going alongside the horses and they're going through the desert with those windmills and stuff.
Yeah,
that
the
part
windmills.
I think is actually filmed pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they find them.
Yeah.
They find him in an abandoned mine. The family has been in this abandoned mine, and they're close to death. They've had nothing, I guess, to drink or eat. And then they revive them with cokes, and then get them in the van and start driving back. And then shenanigans ensue at the supermarket and gas station. The alien family gets out. They start causing a ruckus. The police get involved. The dad alien gets a hold of a gun.
Stand back now, I'm warning you.
No, they don't understand you.
He's telling the truth.
Tell him to back off!
Because this guy comes up to him with a gun. Oh, security guard. And the dad just like, woo, takes it. And it's just like, psh, psh, like just, and then everyone thinks he's like going to kill everybody.
Well.
And so, because, I mean, he might. I mean,
Yeah,
he
could.
might.
He
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And he doesn't look like, I mean, he looks crazy as fuck. Like, he's just like his eyes are huge and his fucking head's bobbling around. And he just like looks like a total fucking idiot.
And you know what? They look human enough to
Right.
where it's like if you did see that, I don't even know that you'd think alien. You'd think it's that person. That's just a sick
like
person.
a inbred person or something. Like someone who's been really inbred.
So you would be scared. You wouldn't think, oh, alien. I mean, they look
No.
they look human enough to where they just look like really ill.
Yeah, and just bow-legged, like they have scurvy or something.
I'm
Like
sure
they
the
didn't get enough
actors'
vitamin
legs were
D.
killing them after those scenes of
Oh my god,
standing
they're
like that.
splayed out. The way they walk is like they have their legs like completely splayed out, and they're just like walking and then like doing their heads back and forth, and then their bellies, and it's just like so awful. It's the most grotesque way to walk.
It's like a Francisco Goya
It's-
painting come to life. Like it's
so
just like,
ugly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's jarring and not attractive. But then because there's a shootout, the gas station blows up. But not only the gas station, the entire like antique mall or something that's behind them, the whole
so what, do
building
they set
goes
that
up.
up?
What caused it to explode that big?
That's what I was going to ask.
It
Does the
doesn't make
director
any
set it up?
sense. It doesn't
So
make any sense.
It's actually a lot like the ending of Jaws 4.
Yeah.
Where it's like the shark explodes, but
comes
you're
back
not
to
sure.
Jaws 4.
You know, everything does. I mean, but, you know, it's like the shark explodes and you're not sure why.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
In this movie, basically the strip mall explodes and you're not sure why.
No, the building goes like all the way
like
down.
all the way down, and it's a long ass building.
Okay.
Like it's a really big
So
building.
we got like a 9/11
Yeah.
kind of thing here. Like,
Right,
how did
where
this
you're-
happen?
Right,
You know?
like, you know.
I'm sure a lot of other people died other than.
Why are there no Mac and Me conspiracy theorists?
I know. Well, starting here.
There's plenty of 9/11 ones. We need to get on this. Why did that strip mall? That was
Why?
That was set up for detonation.
It was set up for
Right, that was a
detonation.
false flag.
And the kid in the wheelchair was really close to the explosion.
Right, and that was
so-
a beautiful scene where they put him against the.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
It's
they put him
clearly
against
like,
the and he's sagging in his
He's
chair.
this, and then he's like.
Yeah,
this,
he's
right?
sagging in his chair. And then the kids run up to him like, he's gonna be okay, and they're freaking out, but he's not gonna be okay. He's dead. And then the doctor comes and she's like, he's gone. And then the mom shows up in a helicopter, and then the way she's reacting again is like, your son is dead.
And
like she's barely like she's like oh,
I don't care. It's
like,
late. I want to go home.
Yeah, she was really phoning it in on that one. She was really.
I did not buy the mom in that crying scene.
No,
that was not good
It wasn't
acting
even,
from her. Again, the one good actor.
You could tell she had to go out of contempt for the material.
And of course,
yeah, she was probably like, I'm not gonna really go there for this. I'm not gonna pretend my son died.
I'm not gonna reach those emotional depths for this for Mac and Me. And
the brother was the crying though.
Yeah,
the
little girl, the Punky Brewster girl. She was like, looked like her hair was blowing around, and there was like she was backlit, and like the helicopter was blowing all this air everywhere, and she looked really like genuinely upset.
Right, she did.
Like her, I believed, but the other ones, I was like, no, not so much. But then they do their thing. Do the little thing, and then they cure the boy comes back to life.
Does he levitate?
He does levitate. Okay, he levitates, and the boy comes back to life, but he's still paralyzed.
Yeah, see, why didn't they just...
Why didn't they fix his leg? If they can fucking bring him back to life, why wouldn't, but it's fine.
Maybe that would be an overreach of their ability.
Well, I mean, that would be kind of fucked up messaging, too, for, like, kids in wheelchairs where it's like, oh, you could possibly get your legs back, It's like when the parents get back together at the end of a divorce film.
Movie.
It's like,
no,
it's irresponsible. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess...
Well, do you think Mac and Me was responsible in any way?
Well, yeah, I know. It's like, it's irresponsible to do that, but then they're telling Coke is on other planets, It's like, fuck, it's so fucked up.
Arms on behalf of the United States of America, when required by the law, that I will perform non-combative service in the armed forces when required by the law.
And so, and then we cut to the courthouse, and now the family of illegal aliens is taking their oaths. They're all wearing clothes now.
This scene was like too much for me. I couldn't believe they went there.
And they're now legal U.S. citizens
and have to uphold protecting the United States of America.
And they take the whole oath too, like where it's like, oh, I will take up arms for America, and I will do the real oath that's saying that I renounce any other nation or principality or state,
that bothers
and that
me.
Now they are U.S. citizens and will bear arms in defense of America.
Congratulations.
Wow.
They do the whole thing. And then they're driving a pink Cadillac, which where do they get the money for that? And then they're driving. The dad is driving.
Yeah.
And the kids are sitting in the back, and like everyone's like, "Oh, this is awesome," but like the dad is driving, who can barely walk.
Like, why don't they go home? Like, I don't. Well, I guess because they were going to do another movie.
Where exactly did they...
Oh, yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
They do it, Mac
so
blows a huge bubble.
Another good effect.
A huge bubble of gum, and it says, we'll be back, and then they go under an overpass, and it pops, and then they never come back.
Yeah, they don't come back.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. Just like in Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension, at the end they say, watch out for Buckaroo versus the World Crime League, and I get really excited. So I still get excited about Buckaroo Banzai versus the World Crime League, and then it never happened.
So this is one of those top 10 movies that never got a sequel that they promised.
They really overpromised and underdelivered. I didn't get any more Mac and Me's, but that's...
So I guess we can presume that the sequel would have been them further. I mean, but if they become citizens, then they would have already had to assimilate to a pretty high degree. But
so,
I guess
were they going to be working at McDonald's?
Probably.
Is the dad going to be working at Coke, like as an ad agency guy or something? Like, he's a madman now?
They could work at McDonald's. They would have been working at McDonald's.
Yeah, working at McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the hijinks that would have ensued from them on the...
Because they can't walk right, and they're...
Did you say Mac and Me is coming out on Blu-ray too?
Yeah, by Shout Factory. They did Teen Witch too.
Whoa.
Yeah, Shout Factory's so on
Shout Factory's the best.
They're doing like God's work. Like Shout Factory's really doing God's work. Like they really are just like always coming out with some of the best stuff. And I was thinking that, like, if I saw these creatures, I would not assume that they were aliens. I would think that they were demons.
No, listen to this. She's got this fan theory, and I started to believe it by the end of the movie. I was like, wait, they are demons. You're right.
It would make so much more sense if they were demons, Because, like, there's a part where, like, at the end, there's all this fire when the gas station blows up.
Okay, yeah.
And then they walk through the fire like it's not a problem, And it's like, that's demons live in hell with fire. Like, they have little bumps on their heads. Like, they look more like demons, but they're supposed to be aliens. I don't know, but flesh-colored things. I would...
With liver spots all over their bodies.
Yeah, with liver spots. I mean, they were just so ugly. Like, the way they're painted... Yesterday, you said that when your mom gets really fucked up, sometimes she'll do the fucking thing, the sign and the whistle.
I think we all do. I mean, I think that's kind of
a family tradition.
On holidays or whatever.
On holidays where everybody's getting turned.
It's not unusual for somebody in our family to do that on the 4th of July. It's not unusual.
Wow.
That's so special.
But I mean, our poor parents, it's because I'm sure it was just irritating to them.
Oh, God, they must have hated it. I mean...
Well, surprisingly, we just spent an hour talking about Mac and Me.
We could spend another
I know.
We were just supposed to warm up talking about this movie.
Warming up with Mac and Me, but Mac and Me is... it's an important film.
Powerful film.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Okay, we're taking a break. We'll be right back. I think we've no...